Hello everyone, and welcome to the Flying Cork TX. Okay everybody, today we're doing something a little bit different. I am not at a winery. I am 2 blocks north of Main Street in downtown Round Rock. You can see the water tower down there behind me. We are at a wine bar this time at Wine Sensation, one of our local watering holes and actually one of my favorite places to have a glass of wine. So today we're going to go inside, have a talk with the owners, see how it all began, and let's go. Okay, folks, as I said, I am inside here at Wine Sensation with the owner, Patrice Rogers. Yeah, she's the owner of this cozy little long-term Round Rock wine bar establishment. 2 glasses of wine, you can't start anything without a cheers.
Yeah.
So before we go any further, definitely have to say thank you so much for sitting with me. You are at the beginning of your wine club subscribers gathering here at the bar. So right now, it is all about you, though.
Me.
Yes.
I like that.
Let's start out with the beginning. How did you just randomly come up with an idea that I want to own a wine bar? Let's go. Where did this start?
Kind of a little bit of both. It was, I wanted to teach myself about wine. I was doing finance and going to lovely meetings and dinners and things like that. And I was very uncomfortable with wine. And I always felt like wine was something that, you know, especially when you're in your 20s, it almost feels like a mark of maturity. And you're out and you've got people, you're mingling with people who are older than you and more established, and people are ordering wine. And for some reason, that stuck with me as something that I need to get over. Like, how do I order a glass of wine and actually like it? Because I don't want to be pretentious, but also I want to enjoy and understand. So I kind of, as a little side piece, started going to little wine events, going to winemakers, vineyards, things like that. Did some of those little wine at home kind of deals and realized that I really liked doing that. And then also in a lot of my free time, I like to cook. So I noticed that when I had time to myself to do whatever I wanted to do, food and wine always came into play. And, you know, the whole saying, if you do what you love, then you never work a day in your life. I mean, it's kind of a lie, but it's kind of true. So I decided to leave the running of someone else's business and go run my own business. And then once I decided I wanted to do that, it was, what am I good at? What do I like? Because it's going to be hard work, but at least I want to like what I'm doing, food and wine. So I said, you know, I think a wine bar might be a good idea. So all of that to say, it was a little bit of both. I had the passion, but also it really was a wake up one day and go, this is what I'm going to do. So
yeah, and it's been awesome ever since.
So we're 5 years in now.
5 years.
5 years.
That seems like, to me, like yesterday.
It feels like yesterday.
The Wine Sensation is the current name.
Yes.
And that was changed from, originally it was Vino 100. And at the time, that's when and how I first fell in love with wine. And kind of similar things that you mentioned too. It's like, I'm here in a wine bar, and I mean, it took me a week to learn how to swirl a glass of wine in my hand and not on the table. I practiced because of that owner. He did it just so eloquently, and I'm like, I got to figure this out. So, yeah.
It just, you know, I think you kind of go through your phases when you're younger and you want to drink alcohol. Wine is not the alcohol that you drink. It's not. When you're in college and all that. I'm from Kentucky, so everybody prided themselves on being bourbon and whiskey connoisseurs and could tell you the difference between this one and that one. And so there is an art form, whether you might be into beer, craft beer, you might be into aged, you know, spirits. So I think there's a lot of little niche groups out there. For me, it was just wine was one of my cadence. So I still like bourbon. I'm not portraying Kentucky, but
ditto.
Like
Guilty.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I really love it. It's a and since you wanted to start learning wine, something that I have personally discovered that it is endless, bottomless rabbit hole of information, unending. There's something, yeah,
I learn
every
a new
single day.
term, a new varietal, a new place, a new style.
Hmm.
So it's, I mean, if you want to, you could really nerd out on it.
Yeah.
There's
Hmm.
ample opportunity for you to do so.
Right.
So,
No kidding.
yeah.
Italy alone is 3,000 plus varietals, and I'm a big fan of their wines. France too. They have quite a few. What is your after all of this? What is your
Oh, so
the most difficult? What is your most
wine
favorite?
evolution, the Venolution, I
Okay.
guess for me. Started off was blends. I got into blends because that's
Okay.
the easiest, most approachable. You
Hmm.
can buy it in a big old box and it's not scary at
Hmm.
Walmart or HEB.
Uh-huh.
But then as you start to learn more and taste different things, you start to discern, well, I might like a cab or I might like a
Hmm.
Pinot. Then you get more involved and go, actually, I like them from these specific regions. So
Hmm.
um, if I'm drinking something that's from Texas, Texas is, in my opinion, does their strongest wines are going to be your earthier, like Tempranillo, kind of funky
Hmm.
wines out of Texas.
I love
When I'm drinking Texas wine, that's where I lean in. If I want Merlot, it's from France.
that.
I
Hmm.
don't want it from anywhere else. I don't know if that's just the era that I'm in, but right now it is definitely French Merlot. And then a big bowl of red cab out of Paso, out of
That's cool.
California.
Okay.
Those are my boom, boom, boom. And if it's hot, which it's hot a lot here in Texas, a nice Sauvignon Blanc or Vino Verde.
Uh-huh. Mm,
So I mean,
okay.
I'm all over the place. Vino Verde out of Portugal,
Yeah.
Sauvignon Blanc, specifically out of Marlborough, New
Uh-huh.
Zealand.
Okay. Yeah, Vino Verdes are definitely amazing here. And I know that we have the wine temperatures for whites, your standard temperatures or whatever. But I'm one of those extra chilled, just a little bit colder because,
A little bit.
yeah, I want to see a little bit of condensation on the glass during
When we're all
it's
like
110. Hmm.
dying, let me get something a little cooler. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no kidding. So let's see. You said you're 5 years in now. You ever what do your wine clubs consist of here?
So, tonight is our wine club. It's a span of 3 days,
Mhm.
but it's $55 a month, and it is for two people. So you can bring your partner, your friend, your coworker, whomever, and you come in. You each get to taste three wines. So we have a person that will taste three wines with you.
Mhm.
We give you a little bit of backstory of the wine, what
Uh-huh.
notes you'll taste, and things like that, where region it's from. And then we have a meal that's off menu, something just for our club members, and it pairs with at least one of the three wines that you'll be
Mhm.
tasting. And then at the end of the evening, you decide like which out of the three wines we tasted, which two were our favorite, and you take a bottle of each home. So
Mhm.
I would say two, and two. Two bottles of wine, two tastings, two meals. And again for $55. So I would say I'm the cheapest date, right? I mean, you can't, you're going home with two whole bottles
Yeah.
of wine.
Uh-huh.
Where else are you going to get that?
Mm.
So, for example, tonight our crew will be having a Pinot Grigio, a rosé, a Sangiovese rosé, and then we're having, I believe, a red blend. And the food that we're having is we're doing a smoked brisket sandwich with a house-made coleslaw and baked beans.
Mhm.
And our vegetarian friends are getting a deep fried artichoke heart sandwich with the same coleslaw
Uh-huh.
and everything like that. So I try to do something for my vegetarian friends as well
Uh-huh.
because
Yeah.
they should enjoy dinner too.
Deep fried artichoke heart sandwich. Okay. Might have to stick around for a minute.
Yeah,
after
and
this.
try it out. I make everything here. I promise it's good. I love to get
Uh-huh.
there and make up stuff or
Mhm.
create something or recreate something that I've seen
Yeah.
elsewhere. So all of those
Mhm.
things are fun.
Right. What other things? What other clientele do you lean in towards? What sort of
Um,
um
I'm kind of into making wine as approachable as possible. Because, like I said, what made me more interested is I felt like I did not know. And
uh-huh.
I'm one of those people who's like, I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
But it also can be intimidating. I've heard other people say that.
Yes,
I
very
don't
much.
want to ask because I don't want to sound like I don't know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
So
See, my favorite thing is when people ask.
when people ask,
Then you won't get me to shut up.
and we could talk about it all day.
Uh-huh,
But
yeah.
I want people who go, I might not know. Can you give me some suggestions?
Mhm.
I let people taste wine.
Mhm.
I ask you what things do you like to
Yeah,
drink? Do
yeah,
you drink coffee? Do you
yeah,
you like sweets? What
yeah.
and I like to help you find a wine and let you know that
Uh-huh.
there's really no wrong way to drink it. If that's the way you like it, then that's the way you drink it. So my
Yeah.
group here is really anybody. A lot of the um, late 20s and on up, pretty much.
Right.
And that's what we see a lot. It's a lot of our demographic. Everybody is welcome to come in here. So you will see people sitting in here that are 20s and 50 at the same table because we have a love of one thing and we're talking about it and having fun. And our wine club facilitates that a lot too because they come on the same night, they become friends, and so that's kind of what we're after, kind of like a communal wine place where you can hang out and still be relaxed. You can wear your jeans, you can have your friend, you can hang out for a few hours and have fun.
This is definitely not your higher scale, pretentious, foo-foo wine bar, and I love that. And I think, and some places and some environments that's fine, but these days I really feel like that's where the wine bars, the wine lovers are really leaning towards the more comfortable, cozy places.
Place where I can hang out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Tell my friend, hey, I'm here. Come meet me. Let's get something to eat real quick. Let's drink a couple glasses. Let's catch up. Let's go home. It doesn't have to be a big like a couple $100 event. And we have to get on.
Right.
Those things are fun. Don't get me wrong. I do that a lot, especially Sunday Fun Day. So I'm not knocking those. I'm just saying that I like to have a balance and have other places to kind of go. So.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. It's a fun place to hang out and some of the events. Today is the day after eclipse, by the way, and you had an eclipse event yesterday. Watching.
Yeah.
How did that go?
All of that out here. A nice little crowd. We had the truffle popcorn. We drank some eclipse wine, and we got to actually stand out here since we had good views and see it. It was all dark. It was great. Yeah. And so everybody said they had a good time. So we like to have events here periodically. So not just wine club, things like that. Our wine and swine is coming on April 20th. So that's our anniversary party. We'll have a specific from our Rabble brand. They are sending representatives out. They're going to be tasting wine, showcasing about 4 of their varietals and giving out little tchotchkes and things like that. Plus, we'll be doing individual tastings from other vendors. We do food. So sometimes we roast a pig. This time we're doing carnitas. We'll have music. So it's kind of a fun day. Like you come, you hang out, you taste a bunch of wine, you eat some good food.
Is that going to be your pork and...
So the wine
and swine event. Yeah. Okay.
So that will be the 20th of this month. So coming up.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited.
20th, what day is that on a
Saturday?
Gonna miss that one. I'll be out of town. I'll be out of town for that one.
But it should be a good one. This is our 4th one. And we've always had a good time.
Yeah.
I think those are kind of our big planned events right now. But we've done things from pop-ups from local artists to come and showcase their wares, because another part of what we try to do here is support other local businesses. So like our beers that are on tap are all local brewers. So we have Third Level. We've got, who is that? Red Horn.
Oh, Red Horn is great. Yeah.
And so and Austin Beer Works, trying to kind of push it back in to everybody. And so we do different events like that. So the pop-up, where come and showcase what you can do, whether it's making jams and jellies or making hats. So we did that in the month of February. Every Friday we did some pop-ups. And then we just do different events. So people have private events or birthdays and weddings. And so
I've been to a few weddings here.
Yeah. We have another one coming up soon. So
oh, really?
Excited. Yeah. Got another wedding. I love weddings.
We won't mention any
We're
names.
not gonna say any names.
Is it somebody I know?
Possibly.
I hope. Okay.
Possibly. Can't tell everything. We had a surprise wedding here one time. So.
Oh yes, I was there.
Surprise wedding. So.
I was there for that.
Divulge everything.
Yeah. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And the outdoors, especially spring and fall, you have an amazing outdoor. Probably, I'm going to say for a wine bar, you have one of the biggest outdoor seating areas. And the North Austin area.
Yeah, we're now that spring is here, and hopefully we're done with all the weather.
Yeah.
So we've got our bocce ball court
Mhm.
that's getting redone this week, and
Uh-huh.
new lighting and stuff to make it more hospitable outside
Mhm.
because it's Texas and we like to be outside.
Yeah.
And so get it
Yeah.
fixed up for y'all.
As much as we're capable
Yes.
of. So yeah, great. Let's see. What about future? Any future endeavors that you have thoughts or ideas that what you would love to
You
do?
know, when you have your own business, it really is a labor of love. You want to do
Uh-huh.
everything all at once.
Uh-huh.
But the more growth we get, the more we can pour back into the business. And
Mm-hmm.
so everything each year has been, let's make this better,
Mm-hmm.
get this a little bigger. Um, from growing our wine club to just improving the look of the place. And I think that's kind of my continued plan is to keep growing. We
Mm-hmm.
started off with wine club at 2 days. Now we're at 3 days. Why not get it to a week so that we
Yeah.
get everybody in here and having a good time a week a month?
Mm-hmm.
Having more events and showcasing more bands. We've had some local bands play.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we try to keep things as local to this area as possible. So we've had DJs, bands, and things like that. We want to increase the amount of live music and things that we have here. And as we keep growing, I've noticed that we've been able to do more and more. So that's kind of what makes me happy is saying we can do this
Right.
and that instead of trying to restrict ourselves.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty great. Predominant the driving factor of this YouTube channel of mine is mainly to elevate Texas wines, but I still like everything local. There's, little, I want to say mom and pop places like this winery. There's a number of other wineries that I want to, that I'm going to meet with as well. But I want to feature places like this in addition to the Texas wineries that I'm going to meet up with. So
And
it's a lot of fun, but it's a,
do too. We like to see
Mm.
when things like this happen because it helps us because I come across an article or a video or something and then I go, I wonder if they distribute. I wonder if I can buy one from them. Just like we do with the beer. Can we? Can we? And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that when we're able to kind of work together, collaborate.
Right, yeah.
So channels like this help us find each other.
Uh-huh.
It helps
Absolutely.
us find, oh, there's a wine bar there, a winery
Right.
that I can visit. So
Yeah.
yeah, good on you.
And
It helps.
yeah, well, I definitely hope so. This is my, a lot of people have their home based restaurants, their home wineries. This is for a very long time, my home wine bar as well. I mean, I've been coming here since it was Vino 100 in 2008 when the infamous,
I'm in a unique position where a lot of my customers actually perceive me.
yeah.
But I love that a lot of y'all had enough faith to stick around and see, okay, this new person's coming, what's she gonna do?
It's a wine bar such as this. It's a community place, right? It's in part having great owners, and it's also in part the community that actually comes here and hangs out and meets each other.
Well, like I told you, I had this place now 5 years, which means the beginning of my trajectory, if you will, was COVID.
Yeah.
I bought in July of 2019, and we all remember what happened in 2020. And the fact that I could sit here and say, I'm at 5 years and we're having wine club in, an hour and a half is because the community around.
Right.
The existing customers that were here. Again, you all welcomed me in when I came in. Some of y'all had some opinions about some things. We worked it out. But when
everybody always does.
Wine people seem to be very, like I say, Vino Veritas, in wine there is truth. People just hit it to you straight. But a lot of the people here were saying, we don't want you to close. We love this place. We now love you.
Yeah.
So even though you're not open, what can we do to support? And the amount of emails and Facebook and Instagram messages we received saying, how can we buy something from you? How can we make sure that you can still pay your rent? Because we're going to come on the other side of this and we want you to be here. And that's exactly what happened. People were coming in, just picking up food, wine, still being a member of Wine Club and attending it virtually. So it really is. So I almost feel now like it's not just me and my family that I'm like, oh, I have to keep this place going because all of us love this.
Mhm.
And I don't want it to just become something that is not hospitable and welcoming to everyone.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of the plan.
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely cheers on you because surviving that time period of COVID, that's not an easy feat. And where many did not succeed, you did.
Yeah.
So
I always am like, thank you.
yeah, I was very happy.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, it did.
Yeah, many of us are very happy. So, what about your menu? What food products do you have on the menu? And tell us, well, no, let's first cover the menu and the food that you have on the menu.
Okay. So everything that we do here is made in-house.
Yeah.
We are smaller,
Hmm.
so because we're smaller, that means the equipment's smaller. So we don't have those huge fridges. So everything is
Yeah.
fresh because we have to buy it every couple days.
Hmm.
But we mostly do flatbreads.
Hmm. Which are amazing. Yeah.
Thank you. Our flatbread sauce, and then we have a standard set of flatbreads, your typical chicken and mushroom pepperoni. But we also have one every 2 weeks. We'll do like a flatbread special where I will just make up something, and we've had some interesting ones, and it's fun. Right now we're doing cheesesteak, but we've done one we call it PB&J, but that was pepperoni, bacon, and jalapeno.
Okay.
So we have fun with that. We also do tapas, which are just small plates. So meatballs, spinach and artichoke dip, hummus, things like that. And I'll add some things here and there based on where I've gone. So if I've gone and traveled somewhere and found a recipe, so we had arancinis for a while because we.
Oh yes, I love.
Doing the Spanish albondigas. I mean, whatever different crostinis and things like that. We have a couple pastas on the menu. And what else? Just your stuff that's our number one thing right now. If you're not feeling too heavy, is truffle popcorn. You got that truffle. It's gonna go great with a nice glass of Pinot. If you want something a little heavier, we've got our tortellini pasta. We also do a truffle mac and cheese. So you can
I do love the truffle mac and
way in
cheese.
here. If you want to go super light, we can get you there. But if you want to have a full-on meal, you can as well.
Yeah. There are some amazing food when left to their simplest form, like your bruschetta, which I really love, and that's actually one of my favorites. One of the margarita flatbread is one of my favorites, and the pasta and the garlic,
The house pasta. Yes.
that is definitely.
Those are
absolutely,
too.
Mm-hmm.
Those go well. Those are pretty decent menus. You come out and check it out. Most everybody can find something on there that they like. Yep.
Yeah. So you have a pretty good chef in the back kitchen. Who is that? Tell us about that person. Tell us about that person.
That would be me. But I have my crew that helps with coming up with the recipes and things like that. And I'm a little bit particular, so I have to look a certain way. And then I'm like, okay. They love it. Like I've got my husband back there. We're all just making stuff and doing it when you order, not in advance. So we're not fast food. We're good food.
No, this isn't. It's
not going to come out in 2 minutes like McDonald's.
Yeah.
But you'll be happy when you get it.
I don't care the type of wine bar. It is not a fast food restaurant. That is.
Anyway, why are we rushing?
Yeah.
Enjoy your wine.
Yeah. This is not a place you come to get in and get out.
Oh, you're that's relax.
That was in that was in 2020.
Yeah, that was old school. We're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, get your pizza and go. But yeah, Roger's definitely awesome back there. Who's your front man?
Our lovely bartender Reuben. He also predates me here at the place, but he is a staple. Everybody knows Reuben.
Everybody knows Reuben.
Reuben will know what you drink, maybe where you're going to sit. I mean, we're that good. It's that good. So, yeah. We've got a couple of little helpers. You might see my kids running around some days when they're not in school. They're to the age now where they can help and really get in there. Plus, they're like a little walking around money, so that always works. It keeps the flow going. Yeah. Just look at everybody.
As soon as you pay them here, they can pay you back at home. when
As soon as I pay them here, they go and support the community by going to
go Run Rack Donuts. There you go, right across the
right
street.
across
By the
the
way,
street. And I'm like, we're all
uh-huh.
part of this little economy right here. It
Uh-huh.
shuffles in and out. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no kidding. Yeah, this place is actually an easy walk from Main Street.
Mhm.
It's uh 2 blocks down. In fact, when we do go to downtown Round Rock, there sometimes we will park here, walk up there, do our thing, and pit stop here, and then and spend even more in the area.
I have a lot of people say, yeah, I wanted to, we had dinner, maybe we'll cover drinks, or they're gonna go do something like go downtown. Let's start off here.
Mhm.
So we're
Yeah.
great. We're great.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, and they have some festivals here on Main Street as well, which again, it's really great to park here and start here, go to that, end here, and then go home. That's a little secret, by the way. Don't go telling everybody. So, so yeah, it is. Fortunately, definitely has gone very well. So that's a great thing. Let's see, you got leaning mostly on the Italian side for tonight's for this week's wine club. It seems.
Yeah, we do various wines for wine club because I like to give everybody different options.
Uh-huh.
So you're not getting the same type every time. You're not
Mhm.
always getting a Chardonnay or what.
Yeah.
I like to throw some things in there. And then we also go around. They've had wines from South Africa. They've had wines from Texas. They've had wines from France, Italy, Spain. Germany. We've got
Yeah.
all the things. And that's also what makes it fun to take somebody who says, I love fill in the blank, I love Chardonnay. And then after they go around and drink them from different regions and countries, and they go, well, actually, I only like Chardonnay from here and here. I didn't realize that I didn't like, or I didn't know that this place even made one. I found it my favorite. So that's kind of what my interest in,
Right.
what I'm trying to put into wine club is not, oh, just come and drink some wine. It's come and experience a new type of wine or a new region of wine.
Yeah.
And then you might walk away going, I'm gonna
That's
look at
great.
that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find one of those.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's fun.
So I guess that's a fortunate thing about a a wine club wine bar versus a winery wine bar is that you have different varieties from different regions.
Yeah, because the wineries, they're making theirs, which is great. There's a lot of incredible effort in doing that. But it's always going to be from the same, if they're making Texas, it's always Texas. Again, if you want to try some other wines, that's kind of how we stay a little bit unique there.
You said that you started you started the whole process of learning wines and such. During that, what's one of the most interesting things that you found about wine itself, or a wine in particular varietals, or it's one of the things that has stuck with you the most today? That
just really learning that how the same grape can really be vastly affected by where it is,
where it's grown, yeah,
how close it is to water, what the altitude it was grown in, what the soil type was, all of those things having such a profound effect on something that will really color the way you enjoy that wine and what foods will be best paired with it. They're really kind of like a little science to it. And it really does change your perspective because sometimes you think, okay, every time you drink a Coke, it tastes like a Coke. Coke is a Coke is a Coke. But a Sauvignon Blanc is not a Sauvignon Blanc. It's not a Sauvignon. It's not. And so you have to kind of get that in your head and learn that it really does matter where it's from.
Yeah. And even the same spot the following year, it's going to be different as well.
Everything, rainfall. All kinds of things have such an effect. And so that was really the coolest thing I learned is that it's different all the time. So you might like the 2014 version and not the 2018 version.
Yeah.
Just is what it is. The vintage. Things very important. So I think that's the coolest thing. And then my favorite part has been creating wine pairings. I know it's such a tough job. I got to sit down. I've got to eat food, and I've got to put it with wine now. But really learning how you can pair different things. Like, wow, this wine tastes like this, and you eat a piece of cheese or a piece of chocolate. Very different, and that's what's fun. That's what's fun. And so those are kind of my favorite things with it.
Yeah. Typically speaking, it's usually at least for me anyway, it hasn't been the the greatest of successes. However, you had a really nice Girl Scout cookie and wine pairing here that the presentation was really cool. There was few of the cookies and the wines had really clicked for me. So it was definitely one of the better ones that I've sat in on the Girl Scout cookie and wine pairing. That was really neat. It was cute.
Fun. It was always fun.
That's not easy.
No.
That's not an easy one.
We've done the cookies and corks. We've done it 3 years now. Because it's just fun. And it's a great way to really.
Yeah, last year was pretty cool. Yeah.
And it's something, and I like to do write-ups of things because I don't want to keep it a secret. If you liked how something went together here, here you go. Go recreate it at home. And so again, like for our wine club, when I write out the notes of the wine and what it pairs with, everybody's encouraged to take that home. When you decide to entertain at your house, which eventually we all get around to doing, you can kind of have a little cheat sheet if you want.
Right.
Oh, I remember I had this and this and it went really well. I'm going to do that again for my guests. So that's always a fun thing too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. It's a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun. So I know that you have an absolute lot to do here and prepping up or ramping up for the wine club. So I'm not going to hold you up anymore. But again, definitely thank you so much.
And I appreciate all
always
this.
fun being here. Absolutely. You got to come and check it out when you're in the area. Round Rock, Texas. This is the spot for wine. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so.
Yep.